To these storms now. We were talking earlier this morning, the people who went to the Super Bowl are still stuck in Manhattan, can't fly out, and you have to wonder with this next storm, we're going to have more of this.
Yeah, I'm thinking the airlines should have some time to catch up today. You know, yesterday I was tracking that system that was rolling into, say, eastern New York, causing some flight issues. This morning, nothing like that, but by tomorrow, we'll get right back into it again. So hopefully your friends and neighbors can get back from the Super Bowl. You were talking about the polar vortex, the colder air, and I want to start with that because this morning you're finding the colder air where it belongs, primarily north of the border, the more extreme air, the more extreme cold, closer towards the Arctic Circle. I mentioned this because, you know, with that polar vortex, we had a lot of that colder air dive from Hudson Bay all the way down into the eastern lakes. We're going to see another, again, cool pool of air up here, but it's not going to make that dive southward, at least not very far southward. So we'll see some cooler temperatures, especially into Thursday and Friday of this week, but not that extreme cold that we had gotten to see. And this may help out, at least with the heating bills. It's been extreme recently. Here's a look at temperatures outside right now. For this time of year, okay, not too far outside the average. 12 in Buffalo, 10 in Olean, 11 in Wellsville. We can handle this, and there's pretty much no wind to speak of, almost light and variable winds across all of western New York. Compare those temperatures, though, to this time yesterday. It is cooler out there. It's 10 degrees cooler in Buffalo, 8 degrees colder in Olean, 14 degrees colder in Dunkirk. I put these numbers up here more if you, say, relate morning to morning and what you're wearing. You may want at least a little bit more of a layer out there this morning just to stay warm. Talking about some sunshine, though, in the mix. Sunrise time just before 7:30 this morning with just a few breaks in the cloud cover across the area right now. But notice that steady shield of clouds that is heading into western New York and northwest PA. There's kind of a slow time progression there. We'll see those increasing clouds during the daytime here in western New York. Our next system, though, is still right now to the west of the Mississippi River. So it has a little ways to go, but you already see that producing some snowfall. We're going to start to likely see maybe a few flakes around the area, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight, but really 11, 12, 1 a.m. That's the time frame to start seeing a more steady snowfall here. So your commutes today, no problem. Tomorrow morning could be a little more dicey. Winter storm warnings go into effect 10 o'clock tonight, and they will be in place through Wednesday evening, all of western New York. And you notice most of what's included in the map here, northwest PA, included in those winter storm warnings. That means substantial snow on the way. And looking at it, at least for today, we'll still see some of those breaks in the cloud cover. Here's your VividCast model. Take you through this evening and stop that. You saw maybe a few little flickers of light blue there. Some of the better chances for some evening light flakes would actually be really across the edge of the southern tier and especially into northern Pennsylvania. But the snow will spread from south to north during the evening hours. This is just after that winter storm warning goes into effect. Start to get some of that snow into Buffalo. And then it continues on and off right into your morning commute tomorrow. Not huge amounts, and we'll talk about it, but enough to coat the roads tomorrow morning to absolutely slow down that morning commute. And then get into, say, Wednesday afternoon. You start to see the snow backing out a little bit, but keep in mind, Wednesday evening into early Thursday morning, going to see those winds out of the north across Lake Ontario. Not out of the question that we could add a little bit of lake effect on the backside of this, and then that's all out of here by the rest of the daytime on Thursday. So as far as the snowfall amounts, a lot of areas in the pink here are pretty widespread, 6 to about 10 inches storm totals. By early tomorrow morning, by say 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, I am expecting right now about half of this on the ground. And the one thing that could affect these numbers are two things. One is that if the system manages to kind of vary off towards the east, take a little more eastward turn, you'd knock these numbers down a little bit. But for a few spots, including Niagara Falls down to Buffalo, the Niagara Frontier, you could see some snow after 5 p.m. Wednesday. That will be the lake effect, so you may be able to bump up those numbers a little bit. But still, even half of that on the ground by this time tomorrow could be an issue for that commute. So we'll keep a close eye on that. There's a look at those light and variable winds this morning, just calm in Buffalo right now. Temperatures should be pushing to just about the mid-20s, so pretty similar to what we had out there yesterday with increasing clouds during the daytime, but don't expect much in the weather department to really slow down that morning commute aside from some icy sidewalks. If you're walking to work, that may slow you down. Temperatures tonight only dropping to the low 20s, upper teens with that snow beginning across the area, especially once you get closer towards 11 o'clock tonight. So for this time tomorrow morning, certainly plan on having to, say, brush off the car for sure. And into Thursday, Friday, some cooler air settles in, just not that extreme polar vortex kind of cold. But it'll be chilly across the area. Get some sunshine in the mix to maybe make you feel a little better.